Hi there, this is Charlie Curran recording my Quantic marketing presentation. So I've decided to do one on GoPro, which I will also submit in my marketing presentation plan. And I'm planning to present to Todd Ballard, who is the CMO and the Executive Marketing Officer of GoPro. So firstly, Todd, I'd like to thank you for welcoming me in to present to you a potential new marketing plan that I believe will help GoPro go back to the original growth that it found in 2016 and actually go over that peak by 2023 and really understand and get back to the core of what GoPro does and how we reposition it in the market for future success. So over the next 10 to 15 minutes, what I'd like to take you through is I'd like to just talk you through the agenda and what we're going to cover. So I want to cover about what is GoPro right now, where are we, and what are the services we have, and then just dig into a bit around the world around us and what we want to do, understand what our current position is in the market, and then understanding all that, I want to then talk about how actually we can reposition ourselves, come up with a new, unique service proposition, and with that marketing refresh, look at the target audience. So really focusing on who we want to go after, understand what the price and the positioning in the market might be. And then with that in mind, how then would we distribute that? What promotions we put around it? Who are we looking to partner with or do joint ventures with to promote it? And then just dig a bit into the marketing materials that it could look like. So I think what's really important to understand about GoPro initially is that it is a focused, actionable camera business. And the power of GoPro is that actually it's a physical and digital ecosystem that provides an end-to-end capture and actually editing software. So if we look at it, we have the hardware. So on one side, we have our cameras, and here you can notice the GoPro Hero, which is the main product. And then you have a new 360 camera, which is called Max. And alongside that, there's various different accessories across the gimbal, body harnesses, flotation handles, clip-ons, more rugged things for sort of snowboarding activities and adventures. And this is complemented by a suite of digital products, whether it's about editing, whether it's about being able to operate the camera while on your mobile phone, and then the premium GoPro Plus, which is a cloud technology allowing you to store your software. But as you know well enough, what we've seen over the last few years is that since the peaks in 2015, we've noticed a steady decline in units shipped worldwide. And increasingly, that has had a big impact upon our revenue as well, as you can see, falling from 1.6 billion now down to 1.1 billion. And so what we need to look at and understand really is that in a declining market where you're noticing globally that not only action cameras, but also digital cameras are declining, we need to understand first who the competition we're facing is. And obviously we have the direct competitors who are growing in this space. We have DJI, who's massively this Chinese business that's growing, really challenging us, looking at new ways, winning in the drone space. You have Sony, TomTom, Nikon, and Olympus, all creating new cameras, not to mention Canon, Samsung, and a few others who are creating actionable cameras and digital cameras. And obviously that is a threat to us as GoPro, but also what we need to understand as well is actually who are the emerging competitors. So where technological innovations are accelerating is within cameras within mobile phones. So no longer do people need an extension of a mobile phone where they might buy a digital camera unless they're specialized in that. On a Samsung, on a Huawei, on their Google Pixel, on their Apple, they can very much snapshots and create memories and store them at hand. So what we need to understand is actually how can GoPro differentiate from that and really help drive down into customers about what it means, what does GoPro mean to them, and how are we relevant in the market. Before I dig into that, I thought it'd be good just to have a quick overview of where do we believe our strengths and where are our weaknesses internally, and then also understand where might opportunities exist externally and the threats. Now, where we win in this space is that we have an absolute focus on our core products and services. We're not a business that has many different business channels. We are focused about creating cameras that last, that can create footage in any environment, and we can focus in on that compared to others who have lots of other distractions. But ultimately, because of that, we can appear as our products are actually not viewed as user-friendly because they're seen like they're for a more niche audience. Then understanding as an opportunity, where might it lie? The majority of our sales are in North America and Western Europe. So let's actually think about what is the emerging middle class and APAC region across India and China. Huge untapped market potential of growth there for us. And then just as a threat that we need to consider as well is actually, we're seeing that in places like Shenzhen in China, that goods are being manufactured faster and cheaper than ever before. And actually, that whole replicating business where they watch what the West do and then replicate it quickly and cheaper, we need to understand what can we do to really separate ourselves out from that. Now, the line that I really think we need to understand is that actually, rather than being a camera company, it's actually how can we become a memory company? And when I say memory, I'm not talking about cloud space. I'm not talking about how much you can store in a camera. This is about memories of people. So how can you turn the experiences you have into memories that you can store so you can share them with the next generation, you can share them with your family? How do we capture memories and experiences? So it's about turning experiences into memories. And the target for this and actually driving this is that I would expect, with the right execution of this marketing strategy, to hit the 2015 sales revenue of 1.6 billion again and find new growth beyond that. So how will we go about doing this? Well, as I mentioned, it's about capturing and storing those special moments you want to relive and share. And really, when I think about the target market that you'd go after, there's two main areas that you'd look at. There'd be one, the millennials. So you have people who are young, they experience a lot, they're adventurous, they like to travel. They've grown up in a time when financial certainty wasn't a thing due to 2008 crash. So they're really thinking about actually, what can we do with our lives? And these people have disposable incomes higher than others because they're not necessarily tied down to mortgages. So this target market is a really exciting place where they're engaging with social media. So sharing is a big thing for them. And so they will want to be seen using the highest technology, the best technology, to be able to deliver amazing videos to their friends and really capture what they're up to. Ultimately, on the other side of that, we have the baby boomers. So they're a very wealthy generation. And they grew up during the time of the handheld video recorder, and where they used to capture memories and it went down into a VHS and they stored them and would rewatch them now and occasionally tape over them. But now what's interesting about this is that they've lost that. They can no longer watch VHSs, and without spending a lot of money getting these put into a digital archive, they don't have those memories. So how can we re-tap into that younger person of them to understand actually there's a new technology around, one that's not going to go away and that can store your technology? And so when I think about what GoPro does, GoPro, and we're using our Hero camera as an example here. So Hero is currently retailed at £380, but if we were to retail it at £300, and let's say this is about competitive pricing against likes of the Chinese company DJI, who have a very similar product, we think about that. That in itself is not appealing to actually someone necessarily because it looks difficult to use. But if we think about our end-to-end user experience, where not only do you just have a camera, but you actually have a cloud around it. And this is where I think the business model gets really exciting for GoPro, because it is not about the camera itself, it's about the memories it captures. And so by paying £12 a month for the GoPro, you're going to get cloud storage in Plus, where all your memories are captured. You're going to get quick, which I think will need a bit of work over that time, but we're looking at a really intuitive, easy to use build so that it captures your raw footage from your holidays or your experiences, and it turns it into these memorable films that get stored in the cloud and can be stored in your phone. They're easily shareable, easily rewatchable, and can be easily revisited. Now, that cloud subscription service, that is there to exist so that you can ensure that you can store them. And it's this walled garden that I think that was really, really appealing. The fact that people can quickly take stuff from camera through into Quick, the app that helps develop it into a film, and into the cloud so they can quickly send it out to social media or share with friends. So when I think about actually what's the go-to-market with this, how are we going to deliver this? So obviously the first one is going to be online store. This is where the revenue is. We don't have wholesale prices. So how do we drive people to our online store and sell through there? And here, this is where we can do package bundles at Christmas time. We can look at doing new offers. How do we bring people in? So this is where we'll have the most opportunity to play with our pricing and really find what's right for each market. Secondly, the online retailers, Amazon being the obvious one, Alibaba. Lots of low price competitors will compete here, but also we've got to understand this is the place where the future of business is going to be done. Amazon recently overtook Google in product searches, so we need to exist here to actually survive in the future. And then understanding that the baby boomers are another target market, we need to think about department stores. So really going after John Lewis, Selfridges, Macy's, about featuring in department stores so that we're not missing out on those baby boomers who might not necessarily have the trust to buy online. And so bringing together these three, we've got to think about actually what kind of marketing do we do? How do we get people to engage with GoPro? Now, the first thing that would be a really exciting avenue is that we don't have physical stores. So how can we do experiential pop-up stores that we're noticing today where people can come, experience the technology, try it out, test it, share it, find these Instagrammable moments that will go viral online. People will like it. People will come and visit the store and really get people understanding what the values of GoPro are. And then how do we create an award? So how do we encourage people to share? And we've got to think about how the videos we create could be used, and actually people could enter them into award shows. So best gig footage, best holiday, best new adventure. And actually you're encouraging these people and you're inviting them to create this premium mass market brand where people want to be involved. They want to be at the award. And so it's really encouraging them to buy into the brand. And this is where we can use the walled garden to say, look, you have to have it on the platform within the actual cloud, GoPro cloud, to use that. Now, of course, there's also going to be social media advertising to target the millennials, the Gen Ys. And so we need to think about what does our content online look like. There will be baby boomers who exist there, but this is a great opportunity to really start engaging with people and sharing footage that's already been created. So rather than paying those high costs, we can think about actually buying stock photography or going out and getting it ourselves. We can use people's content. And then not forgetting the baby boomers, how can we advertise on TV? How can we share people's clips? Really get people into buying into how simple it is to use and the user experience of taking memories on a video and really transforming that into something that you can keep in the cloud and share. Just to give you an understanding, if we're thinking about the two segments that we're going after, I've really started to think about Instagram. So if you look at the one on the left, that's about millennials. Look at that cool experience. How do you like to catch these once in a lifetime opportunities? Look at share those moments. How can you get involved in a pop-up store? Essentially creating really niche demand for the Instagrammers that they like to be involved in. However, if you look on the right, the millennials, you can just understand it's much more about capturing family experiences. So it's about engaging with those families. And likewise, thinking about it on Facebook, it's about actually try out the shareable content on Facebook on the left for millennials, whereas on the right, it's actually how can you capture footage with your family. So it's really about having the same product, the same ecosystem, addressing two different needs within two different markets. Now, when I think about how other ways we can do this, let's think about brand partnerships. Now, obviously, people taking videos are going to be in interesting locations. They might be at a gig with a live music. They could be on holiday. They could be in nice resorts. They could be in bars, clubs. So we've got to think about those brand partnerships that we align with. It could be that people are wearing things, so Adidas, Nike. What are the right brands that we align with? Is it the mass premium hotels that people go to? For example, is it O2 Brixton in London, where people go and watch the latest new music? There's some really exciting opportunities we can explore where GoPro could really become a partner in that space. And equally, how can we actually partner with the likes of Netflix, with Amazon Prime, to say, how do we share content of the most amazing experiences of the year? There's something called the European Outdoor Film Tour. How does GoPro engage with them to show cool footage captured throughout the year on their services and on the platform that can be shared? So actually encouraging people to watch cool adventures, which are all filmed through GoPros. And I believe that by looking at all this together, this would create a really interesting proposition where we'd have a better segmented market, would have better segment targets, and would actually be, rather than looking at what we do as a company, we're thinking about why we do it. We're going back to the why and the understanding why are we relevant, and GoPro is relevant because it helps people capture their memories. So thank you very much. I'd welcome any questions, and thank you for listening.